NBC News World Headquarters in New York. This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
There is growing outrage tonight after an unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson, Missouri.
St. Louis County Police have taken over the investigation of a shooting by a Ferguson police officer that left a teenager dead.
Witnesses say the teen was not armed and had his hands up in the air when a police officer fatally shot him.
Once again, race would emerge and sow division.
Ferguson becomes a tinderbox, explodes. People want an immediate reaction from Barack Obama and his administration.
He ain't armed, he don't got no gun, they just killed his blood everywhere.
Ferguson became a metaphor for this entire complex of relationships between black people and police and the criminal justice system. And it becomes a kind of Rorschach test. Michael Brown is unarmed. He is fired upon by the police officer who says that he attacked him. There are varying eyewitness accounts that dispute that. What is not in dispute is that his body lays on the street where he was shot in the sweltering heat for multiple hours.
What do we want? Justice! Where we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! Where we want? Now! What do we want? Justice!
Night after night, the streets of Ferguson were a war zone. The president remained silent.
When Ferguson blew, it exploded his inability to grapple straightforwardly with the issue of race. He was contorted and tragically twisted when it came to Ferguson.
The difficulty of this situation for Barack Obama is that it exposes him again and again and again to the most inflammatory thing about his presidency with, the beer summit and Skip Gates, with Trayvon Martin, now with Ferguson, that he is brought again and again back to this third rail issue of the disparities of race in this country.
Finally, after 5 days,
Good afternoon, everybody.
he went before the press.
There is never an excuse for violence against police or for those who would use this tragedy as a cover for vandalism or looting.
He chose
Simply,
a
we all
cautious
need to
route.
Hold ourselves to a high standard. So now's the time for healing. Now's the time for peace and calm on the streets of Ferguson.
He's trying to thread this needle, and it feels as though both sides end up being disappointed by what he does.
Thanks very much, everybody.
I was once interviewing Obama in the White House, and I asked him a question about race. And his answer was unusually guarded, inconsequential, and for journalistic purposes, almost useless.
Later, as Remnick was leaving the interview, Obama stopped him in the hallway.
He says to me, you gotta remember, I am the president of the United States. I'm not the president of Black America. Everybody knows who I am because they can see me. I'm Black. But anything I say on race, I have to be extremely careful and calibrated in what I say.
And as the anger in Ferguson grew out of control, on television, Obama remained careful and calibrated.
To those in Ferguson, there are ways of channeling your concerns constructively, and there are ways of channeling your concerns destructively.
The split screen was the line that showed his disconnect with America. On one side of the screen, you're seeing the nation's Black president begging that a city to not go up in flames. And the other side of the screen, you're seeing young Black people saying, we're done waiting. We're not putting up with this anymore.
We elect a Black president, and 8 years later, we have this.
I remember talking to activists who said, I voted for Barack Obama twice. And Trayvon Martin's still dead. Michael Brown's still dead. It was this sense that simply having representation, even at the highest levels, didn't necessarily mean that these issues were going to be addressed.
He was really frustrated, and I, we would talk, and he would just say, well, cops need to stop shooting unarmed black kids. Like, that's what he thought. But he also recognized and was very disciplined about the fact that he was President of the United States.
The anger transcended Ferguson. Online, Black Lives Matter emerged. Activists connecting, sharing, and uploading videos of police killings around the country.
And within moments, the entire world could see it. And it forced white Americans to see things that their eyes never would have seen.
Across the divide, the blowback.
They hate police officers.
Well, they have strong feelings about
No, they hate them. They want them dead. They're a hate group, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to put them out of business.
Their agenda is it's okay to go ahead and kill cops.
No, nobody said that.
Oh,
They never
really?
said that.
Pigs in a blanket, frying like bacon?
I'll
When
tell you
they
what-
act like that, they're criminals,
Let me
and
just
they're
say-
calling for the murder of hardworking police
I
officers.
don't believe that.
We now have to counter this slime, this filth coming out of these cop haters.
A Black Lives Matter protest shut down traffic in Frederick, Maryland.
Black Lives Matter is just a complete fraud.
Are you going to riot, loot, roast more pigs? What?
Absolutely unbelievable. All lives matter.
See, to me, dividing lives that matter by color sounds downright racist. No.
Republicans tore it up at the polls. Historic midterm election victory, taking control of the Senate.
Fall 2014. Republicans had captured the Senate and now held both houses of Congress.
The wave of voter frustration has all but washed off the Democrats.
Republicans